The next problem statement is to implement towers of hanoi using recursion. So in towers of hanoi we'll be having 3 needles, and we can take the number of discs how we want to move onto those particular needles. So here first I'll write the code, then we'll be discussing how this will be working internally. Hash include stdio.h. Here I am writing the function in void function with parameters void hanoi of. So I can initialize any of the identifiers depending upon my requirement. So I'll be initializing the identifiers as char. The first one is from, char to, and char the other disk, other needle name, or next one is int is number of disks. N is the number of disks. So this is what the function prototype, or it is also called as function declaration. Next, int main. So within this main I am initializing one identifier int number of disks to read the number of disks. Printf enter the number of disks. Scanf %d address of number. So this is how we are going to read the number of disks. Next, whatever the towers we have, so on those particular towers this disk should be moved. And here just a message to the user, like what we are going to display. Tower of hanoi for %d number of disks is num, just in order to print the output. Now what is the function name? Hanoi is the function name. With how many parameters it has? Totally 4 parameters. The first one I am going to take it as a, this is as b, this one as the another identifier as c. A, b and c for characters. This we have initialized with 3 needles, and num is nothing but it's a number of disks. Return 0. Now this is called as function call. Next we are going to write the function definition. Hanoi towers, that is void hanoi of char from, char to, char other, int n. So what is this? This is nothing but it's a function definition. Now here we are going to write the logic. If n is less than or equal to 0, I am just giving a message to the user stating that there are illegal number of disks. If the n value is double equal to 1, printf move disk from %c to %c /n. Here the first %c is from and the next %c is other. That is what the first percentile C will be A and the next percentile C will be other. Other is C here. So we will be getting a message like move disk from A to C. So our target will be reached once we are moving from A to C. And n is greater than 1. If n is greater than 1, then so this is what we need to call a recursive call. Hanoi of from comma other comma 2 comma n minus 1. Next, hanoi of from comma 2 comma other comma from comma 2 comma other comma 1. Next, hanoi of 2 comma from comma other comma n minus 1. So this is how we are going to call the recursive call, and we are going to execute the towards of hanoi. So our target here will be, we need to move the number of disks whatever the user has been given as an input to needle C. Needle A to needle C, our disks should be moved to the destination C. Okay, here we are giving the user to the number of disks. Let me execute this code and check whether the output we are going to get the correct or not. So here we are entering the number of disks as 3. So the towers of hanoi for 3 number of disks is, so first we need to move a disk from A to C. Provided here there is a condition that the small disk should never have on top of it with a bigger disk. Bigger disk can have the smaller disk on top of it. So this is what the condition which we need to take in as part of the constraint whenever we are moving the disks from the source needle A to destination needle C. So move disk from A to C. Next, move disk from A to B. Next, move disk from C to B. Next, move disk from A to C. Move disk from B to A. Next, move disk from B to C. Next, move disk from A to C. So this is how all disks will be shifted onto the C needle. By using this particular recursive function, we can implement this towards of hanoi. So we can also process this internal steps. You can process from each and every number of disks, and you can get the conclusion as the number of source disk whichever they are there on the source needle A will be shifted onto the destination needle C by processing these number of steps. So let me give one simple test case. So let me run the output for 2 disks. There are 2 disks. These 2 disks should be moved on to the destination, for which these are the steps. So let me just give the value and process the internal steps for this. Now towards of hanoi of the 2 disks, whatever the input value 2, here num will be 2 and the values here are, now let me make a clear understanding. From, now what is the value of from is A, what is the value of 2 is B, what is the value of char other is C, and num, the total number of disks n is 2. Now let us call the function hanoi of A comma B comma C of num. Now check the value of n. Is n less than 0? Then we will be getting a message as illegal number of disks. If n is double equal to 1, we will get move disk from direct, that is from to other, that is from A to C. Directly we can move it because our destination is the C needle, right? Now the condition is if 2 greater than 1, okay, the third if statement, 2 greater than 1, condition is true. Now there are 3 recursive function calls which we need to process when the condition is true. Now let us process this. Hanoi of from comma other comma 2 comma n minus 1. Now let me first process this. First one, hanoi of, what is from here is A. Hanoi of A comma what is other C comma what is 2 B comma n minus 1. What is the n value? 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So we need to process this first. Hanoi of A comma C comma B comma 1. Now here let us again call the function. The function is hanoi of char from, char to, char other int n. Now let me write the values again. From is A, from is A, 2 is C, from is A, 2 is C, other is B, n equal to 1. Now if n equal to 1, let me execute this. If 1 less than 0, condition is false. 1 double equal to 1, condition is true. So what is the message we will be getting here? Move disk from percentile C to percentile C. What is the first statement we are going to get? What is the first percentile C? From. What is the value of from? Value of from is A. And what is the value of other? Value of other is B. So here we will be getting a message as move disk from A to B. That is what we got here. Move disk from A to B. This is a message which we have got it. Move disk from A to B. This is the first step. Next, there is another recursive call, the second recursive call here. Hanoi of from comma 2 comma other comma 1. So what is from here? The from is A. What is 2 here? What is 2? Next, the second one 2 is B. 2 is B. Next, what is other? Other is C. Other is C. Next, what is the value of num? Num is 1. Now check the condition for the second recursive function call. Okay. Now the value will become, n value is 1. Check the condition. Is 1 less than 0, false. Is 1 double equal to 1, condition is true. Then we need to execute this statement. Now what is from? From value is A, and what is other? Other value is C. Now what will be the message will be printed is move disk from A to C. This is the output which we are going to get from A to C. Next, there is another last recursive function called hanoi of 2 comma from comma other comma n minus 1. Now what is 2 here? 2 is A, from is B, other is C. N value is equal to n minus 1. What is n minus 1? N value is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now let me check with the condition. Is 1 less than 0? Condition failed. 1 double equal to 1? Condition is true. Now what is the message we are going to get? Move disk from what percentile D? What is the first percentile D? From. Here from is B. From is B. And what is other? Other is C. So we are going to get the message as move disk from B to C, which means now our two disks from source, they have successfully transferred onto the needle C. And you can see the same how the position of the discs which was there on A, the same position of the discs are present on needle C. So this is how we are going to implement the concept of recursion for transferring the discs from source to the destination needle using recursion. This concept we are going to call it as towers of hanoi.